Welcome everyone to 2017 Blade&Soul Korea Season Finals. My name is Joel Sophie and along with me is Ending Life. And we are back after a month of break to bring you more Blade&Soul action. And this is probably the most important time of the year because we get to decide which Korean teams make it to the World Championship.
Yeah, today, as he just said, is the first day of Korea Finals, deciders for which Korean teams make it to the World Champions. And as you just mentioned again, we had a month of break, and I've been so hyped for Korea Finals because this leads into the Worlds, and we've already. You probably did. I did too. We've already seen the NA and EU teams playing off, so I'm so excited to see which Korean teams are going to be facing the NA and EU teams in the Worlds, with all the other countries that's been participating since last year and a couple of years back, like China, Taiwan, Japan. So this year's Worlds is so much bigger.
And it's so exciting to watch. And a shout out to the casters and also the teams that really participated in the NC Soft West version of our variant. And it was such an exciting thing to watch because we didn't get too much West involvement in Blade&Soul scene as previously as we did before. But now that we get to see in this year's World Championship, we get to see the NA teams and also the EU teams represent their region to face up against the Koreans and also the other Asian regions as well. So it's going to be a very exciting thing. But in the meantime, we're going to have this month to decide who are going to be our representatives for the Korean scene, and we're going to go with the schedule and how is it going to go with us today.
All right, so today we're going to have the challenge stage, and then on the right we have the champion stage. That is for next time, as you see on the dates, July 30th it starts. But tomorrow is going to be the challenge stage where the new teams or the teams that haven't placed first or second will make their way up to the champion stage to fight off the stronger teams, quote unquote, the teams that have won or placed first or second place during the Korea seasons.
And this year we had Season 1 and Season 2 to accumulate those fighting points that we got, depending on the rankings that they got at the end of the season. And we're going to know, in the future slides, we're going to show who they are. But the champions teams right now, there are 4 teams who have accumulated the most fighting points throughout this year. And we're going to have the other 8 teams, which are going to be the teams that didn't have as much fighting points as the top 4. And also we're going to see a lot of rookie teams that we haven't seen before. So that's also going to be very exciting to watch. So for today and tomorrow, we're going to have those challengers teams face off against each other to decide who the best of the bunch is. And then they're going to face off against, especially starting next week, to decide who they're going to be representing the Korea in the World Championship. But we got to get the Challenger Series up and going already.
Yeah, and I don't know how you just ignore the prize pool when there's so many zeros. I was staring at you. I was like, hey, look, there's so many zeros. And you're just going on. I was like, I wanted to mention the 50 million won, man.
50 million, not dollars, but won.
Yeah, it's 50 million won.
So still very big money. I'll be very happy with that kind of money. I don't know.
Yeah, it's roughly $50,000 without the currency exchange. Yeah, if you do that, it'll probably be like $40-something thousand. But it's still big. It's still a big prize pool. So, yeah, be ready for that. We want to see all these teams, trying to get that first place.
And as we see on the table here, we see the 4 champion stage teams already decided who have accumulated the most fighting points throughout Season 1 and Season 2. It's the GC Busan Blue. Perfect season, a perfect year for these guys. First place in both Season 1 and Season 2. And it's going to be exciting to watch, and along with Coup d'etat, who didn't get only 3rd last season, but it's still good enough to get them 2nd overall. And with IDEPS and GC Busan Red following these guys, these 4 are always been the top teams in the Blade&Soul Korean scene. And we have the Challenger Stage teams, and at the top of that group, look at who that is. It's GFAM, and we haven't been too hyped about GFAM in most of these situations, but if you guys remember back in Season 1, they did qualify to the semifinals, and that was a surprise to many. But it just goes to show that once they get that confidence, they can really do what they're completely capable of.
Yep, and on screen now we have today's matchup, finally the quarterfinals of Group Stage A. The first match is going to be Superman versus GFAM, I'm sorry.
Hey, it's a good try. It's a good try, but GFAM, if you see this entire group here, Group A is full of these teams that you probably never heard of. We haven't heard of these guys as well as Superman, No Name, Chobo. We're going to have a tough time with this because right now the GFAM is the only team we know out of this Group A, and obviously with that, they're going to be the heavy favorites to win out as first place out of this group. But I'm telling you, with Season 2, we were surprised in so many occasions by the rookie teams and what they're capable of do. There's so many talented players in the entire country of Korea that, really is capable of competing at the pro level of Blade&Soul. But, once these players form up and create a new team, they can really surprise a lot of the professional teams out there.
Yeah, and I just want to go back to the team names, and when we were looking at these team names and we were talking about it before we went live, and we were talking about how Superman should have been named at least Supermen, because it's a team.
It's a caster tilt.
Yeah, it's Superman. It's like a one-man. It doesn't even sound like a team name.
We have to say Superman versus G-Fam, and
it's Gotham Fam.
Gotham Fam.
So it's like Superman versus Gotham, like Batman. Alright, sorry.
Go,
but anyways, so we do have Superman, which is a new team, as well as No Name and Chobo. And do you want to explain what Chobo means?
Oh yeah, Chobo is a Korean word referring to beginners.
Yeah.
But you can also refer to them as noobs as well. But be nice, so just call them beginners to be the nicest part about that. But they're gonna have a humble asset coming into this manner, and really they're gonna try to be as confident as they can while being humble at the same time. So telling you, but all of this excitement about these rookie teams is very exciting thing, because they have proven to us before that rookie teams should not be looked down upon.
Yeah.
And we know that while we have been surprised before, we might be up for even more surprise this season.
Yeah, definitely, and especially with having a name as Chobo, a newbie or a rookie. If you get beaten by a team called noobs or beginners, that's gonna hit you hard.
That feels bad, man. I would not want to be defeated by a beginner team.
And if you lose, you have an excuse. It's like, yeah, we're noobs. Like, we named ourselves noobs because we're bad. Like, they have all these way out. Like, whether they win or whether they lose. So it's like, that's smart choice.
With the Chobo, we're going to see them in the second part of our today. But we're going to go with Group A, starting off with the day today. And we're going to have the same format going to Group B. But we're going to decide the winners of each respective group starting from today and also tomorrow. But Group A will be exciting thing, because we're going to see the typical story of whether G-Fam will dominate the group as the only professional team that we are aware of, or whether we're going to see some surprises from the rookie teams.
Yeah. And I think soon, we're not going to get queued, but we're going to soon go into the VCR, like the interviews of the teams as usual, where it usually cuts us off. But until then, we're going to be talking about G-Fam and Superman, our first match. And as you said, G-Fam is probably the favorite teams out of all 4 teams in Group A, because they're the only... Okay, there we go. Let's get into the VCR.
안녕하세요. 슈퍼맨 팀의 민경복,
박선훈, 송현성입니다.
대회 열린다는 소식 듣고서 링검사라든지 암살자 같은 클래스는 좋으니까, 그리고 이제 그 조합에 마지막 맞는 선수가 송현성 선수라고 생각돼서 선택하게 되었어요. 저희가 시즌 1 때 한번 도전을 했었는데 그때는 좀 아쉽게 많이 떨어졌어요. 이번에 다시 기회가 돼서 좋은 결과 얻어서 올라오게 됐습니다. 저희는 챌린저스에서 일단 1승을 한번 거두는 게 이번 대회 목표입니다.
우리 팀장님은 되게 오더를 잘해주시는 것 같아요. 오늘도 예선할 때 위급한 상황이 좀 많았는데 팀장님이 오더를 잘해주셔가지고 여기까지 올라오지 않았나 싶고, 현성이는 팀에서 제일 막내인데도 막내답지 않게 되게 대범하고 승부수를 띄울 줄 아는 그런 동생이라서 팀에 도움이 크게 되고 있다고 생각합니다.
오히려 연습할 때보다 실전 경기에서 했을 때 좀 더 많이 맞아서 앞으로 발전 가능성이 많아 보입니다. 저희 팀명인 슈퍼맨처럼 슈퍼맨이 되기 위해 한번 열심히 노력해서 좋은 결과 가져올 수 있도록 노력해 보겠습니다.
동생들하고 같이 대회 나왔는데 제가 형으로서 동생들한테 피해가 가지 않도록 더 열심히 연습하고 노력해서 좋은 성적 거둘 수 있도록 하겠습니다.
제가 여기서 역할이라는 게 이거 해라 저거 해라 할 수는 없겠지만은 실전만큼은 아주 쥐잡듯이 대하도록 하겠습니다.
안녕하세요. G팸의 오민정,
이원식, 김소환입니다. 저희 조가 유일하게 챌린저스 팀 중에서 챌린저 팀끼리 겹치지 않는 조에 있게 됐는데 가볍게 출발할 수 있을 것 같아요.
각자 욕심을 살짝 버리면 될 것 같아요. 스탠딩을 시작했을 때 들어와야 될 때를 알면서도 욕심을 내서 안 들어가고 버티다 보니까 거기서 쌓아뒀던 게 한 번에 와르르 무너지는 그런 걸 많이 겪어서 교체를 잘 해야 되는 것 같아요.
시즌 파이널에서 다른 여러 팀들도 팀 간의 선수 교체들도 많이 있었고 챌린저스로 저희는 대기하고 있고 한 번 올라가면 바로 챔피언스 본 대회가 시작되는데 일단 목표는 월챔이죠. 조금씩만 더 잘 따라와 준다면 더 좋은 성적 낼 수 있을 거라고 저는 생각을 하고 있습니다.
저희가 평소 거의 하루에 한 번씩은 연습은 하는데 그럴 때마다 이재준 선수가 있는 팀을 많이 만났었는데 그 팀이 가장 쉬웠던 것 같아요.
현재 가장 강팀은 팀원 간의 교체도 없고 그리고 시즌 1, 2에서 경기 결과 성적으로 보여준 GC 부산 블루가 일단 가장 강팀이지 않을까 싶네요.
대회만 나가면은 약간 너무 긴장을 해서 하던 대로 못한 게 많은데 이번 시즌에는 긴장하지 않고 최대한 더 올라갈 수 있도록 노력하겠습니다.
욕심내지 않고 제가 할 수 있는 역량 내에서 할 일만 하겠습니다.
월챔을 목표로 시즌 1, 2 성적과는 무관하게 일단 시즌 파이널이 월드 챔피언십 티켓이 달려있는 대회다 보니까 월드 챔피언십에 나가는 첫 번째 여자 선수를 만들어낼 수 있는 그런 팀이 될 수 있도록 한번 노력해 보겠습니다.
멋있다.
And before we do talk about Superman, we want to talk about GFAM. How interesting will it be to have a first real player in the World Championship?
Yeah,
I mean,
that would be amazing.
in many esports out there in the industry right now, we have many international tournaments, but it's so rare to see a female player representing their team and especially their region going into the international tournament. But GFAM making it to the World Championship seems like the fairy tale story come true.
Yeah, definitely. And I definitely want GFAM to make it into the world. Not because they have a girl, but GFAM has been in this Blade&Soul scene for a long time with a different name from last year. And I'm not too biased, but like I'm personally a KFM player of Blade&Soul.
Yeah.
And GFAM since last year was probably like the 1 or 2 teams that had a KFM throughout the whole season, throughout the whole year. And that is why I did have my eyes on them. But today we have rookie teams, and I don't want to, look down upon the rookie teams. And as we see on screen, we just passed by Superman, and now we're on GFAM. But they have so many classes registered, but GFAM is the only team that has. Look at this, it's very clean.
Just 4 combined, and
so
all.
clean.
And the classes that they represent has been so stable regardless of the meta that has been presented to them. And KFM, Blade Master, up to the Summoner of Min Jung-ho, and it's just been like that for so long, and they kept with it and got semi-satisfactory results in most of the season that they competed. So, whether they can pull this through and represent their region and also represent the current meta that they like to play, it's going to be very interesting to watch because we always like to see variety in this kind of competitions.
Yeah, and I definitely want to see what Superman is going to bring out to the table with, them being on this stage, on this live stage. I hope they don't get nervous.
Yeah, but it's, one of the players that they did mention during the interview was Hyun-Sung Song.
Yeah.
He's one of the younger player in the team, but the other 2 players who have been friends together for a while, they have a lot of expectations for this kid because he is supposedly very mechanically talented and has a lot of leadership considering the fact that he is still the youngest player. He still has a lot of leadership towards his older teammates. So we have to see how that affects the team play, but just everything out of the way. I'm really just excited to see this rookie team because I have no idea what they're capable of and see once the actual matches begin, what they're really capable of.
Yeah, and I don't know if you guys caught it, but Hyun-Sung Seo did register Destroyer and a Blade Master, but he did participate last year a little bit. His team didn't go too far, but his Destroyer, I remember, is very formidable.
Yeah.
And I want to see how he will play against this Blade Master, Won-Shik Lee, who has beaten Jung-Ho Yu's Force Master last season twice.
I'm telling you, but the player that we are talking about, Hyun-Sung Song, is the first one to come up for Superman, and match 1 will begin as singles, and it is the first to 4 points format. So we have
the first to 3 points.
First to
3 points.
First to 3 points. So yes, we're gonna have the first 2 singles and a tag match for the 3rd match, and also the closing out single if we need it. But we're gonna see that we always know the best of 4 matches. We always know these type of formats are very important for each and every match that you play because every point really does count towards the final result.
Every single point. definitely counts. And you know, if the first match goes to one team and the second match goes to the other team, the third match will be the last match. So we'll have to get started with the first match. Let's get it on.
We are underway for the first match of the 2017 Blade&Soul Korea Finals, and we have Superman on the left with Hyunsung on the Destroyer with Wonshik Lee, most likely on the Blade Master it seems. But it seems like what they're going to try to go with is interesting. And also what I like to mention is a shout out to the maestro, the gunner that's going to be, that was also in the intro. That's going to be very interesting to see, but we won't see it this time around, but we'll get the first match underway.
Yep, Hyunsung playing very aggressive, landing that smash like 20 seconds ago.
Yeah.
Wonshik Lee taking some damage, unable to do too much to Hyunsung.
And Wonshik Lee is right now out of his escape for the next 10 seconds. Hyunsung is not looking for too much out of this. Still rotating, but I think you have to, as a destroyer, you always have to look for a really good opportunity. And that might be
with the back roll chase!
Stun with the grab, and that's going to be forcing another escape out of Wonshik Lee. And that is a very good continuation of play, and just gives Hyunsung more room to work with for the next 30 seconds.
Yep, Hyunsung, right when you mentioned that, he gets into the aerial by Wonshik Lee.
And Wonshik Lee on the Blade Master has to do all he can to put in the flimsy amount of damage that he can with each time, while Hyunsung will be looking at one opportunity. He will be looking for that one opportunity to put an immense amount of damage, and that's what he's going to be trying to do. But right now, as it seems, Hyunsung is the one with the less HP.
Ooh, the Cyclone with the Searing Strike followed up. And then right when the Searing Strike ended, the knockdown happens, gets pulled in, the back roll chase!
And the Hyunsung forced to use that escape out of that play. It does get him stunned. Wonshik Lee taking the damage without using the inter-aerial. What a combination of play. Forcing Wonshik Lee to take all that damage without an chance to escape.
Oh,
this is actually another second aerial, and Hyunsung is still out of his escape. He's gonna go into the aerial once again, taking the continuation damage.
He does have that persistence. He just saved it up for that second aerial. Oh, when is he gonna use it? He's not gonna use it.
Oh, he's actually taking too much damage for comfort, and 5 seconds is all he has until he gets to escape that. But I think that was a little bit of decision miss from Hyunsung. Maybe he could have used the escape that he had a little bit earlier to negate some of that damage.
All right, there we go. He is playing aggressive. He did land that back roll chase. He doesn't land that one.
Oh, but Wonshik Lee is taking the damage from Hyunsung. This is a stun. This is going to be his damage to continue on with that, but gets into the aerial once again. This might be enough opportunity for Wonshik Lee to finish him off here, and there he goes.
Chase. Okay.
And Blade Master Wonshik Lee does start off GFAM with a 1-0 victory, which is probably expected out of GFAM being the favorites of this group. But Hyunsung showed glimpses of good plays, but maybe a little decision miss with that escape that he had. I think he took a little bit more damage than what he should have.
Yeah, but like, to be honest, in Team Superman, I don't know the other two players that well. Like, I don't know Hyunsung very well, but I've seen him play, and I could only assume that Hyunsung is probably the best player individually on that team, and he lost. Him losing might, you know, tilt them a little bit, because they do consider him, like, even during the interview they said like even though he's the youngest, you know, he is the strongest. So him losing the first match and them being a rookie team might tilt them, and I hope it doesn't.
Yeah, of course.
So I hope the second match will be played out differently, but you know, both well played, to be honest.
But what do you think was the crucial point here? If we were looking at this replay here, Hyunsung was doing well for the most part in the early game, but he took that continuation damage of up to 3 aerials from Wonshik Lee to continue on with that damage. What do you think was the crucial mistake here?
Well, like, to be honest, like, rather than Hyunsung making mistakes, like, Wonshik Lee played very well, like, backing out whenever Hyunsung puts down that Ember Stomp so he doesn't get grabbed in the resistance, the aura, the earthquake looking thing. And Wonshik Lee just kept his distance when he needed to. So rather than Hyunsung making too many mistakes, I want to give credits to Wonshik Lee for playing it well.
And even throughout the match, we saw that Hyun Sung looked for opportunity. He was very aggressive when he needed to, but Won Sik Lee was very smart to counter that as effectively as he could. And I think all the credit does go to Won Sik Lee, putting the team up in front 1-0 for GFAM. And the trouble with Won Sik Lee has been the tag, and the singles was never a trouble for him. So getting a good 1-0 lead will be good for GFAM, but they have to continue on with this. Min Jung-ho actually does come out for the second match on the Summoner against Sun Hoon Park. On the Assassin, we have no data on this player on the left, but on Min Jung-ho, we know that she has had some issues on stage when she got a little bit nervous and didn't play up to her full potential. But we're to see whether that day will come again or whether she has shown a little bit of improvement regarding those areas. We have to see in the second match.
Yeah, however, if you guys remember from last season or the first season, Min Jung-ho has been mostly playing very well against Assassin. Mostly. Not all the time, but the majority of the time, Min Jung-ho going up against an Assassin, she was probably the most comfortable because she's won a lot of games against Assassins. So this guy, we'll have to see.
And we have to go to the second match to figure out whether GFAM can get a 2-0 comfortable lead in this series or whether Superman can get one win back. And we're going to go into the second match, the second singles of the day. Let's get it on. The second match begins between Superman and GFAM. GFAM is currently up 1-0 in this series. Now we have Sun Hoon Park on the Assassin going aggressively as soon as the match begins, and Min Jung-ho taking a lot of damage from the first 10 seconds of the match.
There we go. We do see that Mine and the Bombard doing tons of damage early on. And the the body swap right away. Min Jung-ho is, has to use her escape. Her tab escape is out now.
This is extremely grim for Min Jung-ho. Now she has only the cat to rely on, but the escape is gone. She only has the back roll to work with, but that's not going to be good enough when Sun Hoon Park gets the right opportunity to put in damage.
Yeah, and he's throwing those bombs, trying to do damage. If it ever goes down to TKO, he wants to secure that damage, but I don't think he needs to.
Whoa, Sun Hoon Park at the right place at the right. So the 30-second cut.
Whoa. What? Whoa. Min Jung-ho, I don't know what, usually
she looks started as
this doesn't even happen when she goes up against Jinyu Park. This doesn't even happen when when she goes up against supposedly the best assassin in Korea, which probably is Jinyu Park, but
you saw her expression, she was as surprised as we were.
Speechless.
It's as a Sun Hoon Park, he was using macro to be at the right place at the exact same moment. When Min Jung-ho tried to avoid the situation, he was already there one step before her. And just putting the exact amount of damage that Assassin typically needs to do. This was literally PvE for most parts.
Yep, so you just saw a double knockdown with the landmine. So he got the double stun again with the cat. So landing those double CCs basically just won him the game.
Hey, then there's Superman sign on the stand, and that's actually good representing. Sun Hoon Park was not supposed to be the surprise of this team, but the most surprise I've gotten in the past month, and we had a break for past month, so to be a joke, but at Sun Hoon Park on the Assassin showing hopes for Superman. Now they're 1-1 even with GFAM, supposedly the favorites of this group. If Superman can get a win out of this series against GFAM, we just have no what to expect.
Yeah, this is gonna be like last season when Unknown makes it up there. We never expected them to make it up that far, and they did. So this time around, Superman, I don't know. We'll have to see the deciders match. Next match is gonna be tag team. We're probably gonna see the roster soon. But this is gonna be the decider match.
And Gyeongbo Min, we haven't seen this player yet. He's gonna show himself for the first time here with the tag match. Will be the decider match, as you mentioned. But my goodness, that second match was such a shell shocker that we have no idea what to expect from this now. And GFAM currently looking like they're going to be favorites, and they are even in scoreline, but the momentum has definitely shifted away from them because second match was not supposed to end in that fashion.
Yeah, definitely not. It ended too quick, and they started off with the win, so they should have carried on that momentum. But, Superman, like I said, I hope, they probably heard me, I was like, I hope you guys don't tilt, and they definitely didn't tilt.
And good of them to really stay informed, because right now the tag match will decide this first series of the day, and GFAM potentially could go down against the rookie team Superman, and Sunhoon Park on the Assassin is showing impressive form for this team. No credits down to Hyun Sung Song as well. He did pretty well for the first match considering that his loss, but we have no idea what to expect from this other player, Gyeongbok Min, on the Blade Dancer from Superman. We're going to see exactly what they're made of in match 3 with the tag match, and whether GFAM can really turn this around is going to be the big question.
Yeah, and GFAM, the weaker point of GFAM was the tag team, but we'll see how they do up against this rookie team on this third set. Let's get it on!
We do begin with the decider match between Superman and GFAM, and to start us off, it's going to be Hyun Sung Song on the Destroyer and Min Jung-ho on the Summoner, notably the two losers of the singles of this series. But
that sounds kind of weird, two losers.
But
it is true. It's a fact.
It's a very violent thing to say, but to be honest, these two players are the one really need to keep it focused, because with the losses of the singles, they're going to have to keep their focus, because they're going to be very crucial of how this tag will work out.
Yep.
Wow. Min Jung-ho with the tag, with the interfering, that's putting a lot of damage onto Hyun.
Alright, there we go. Another defensive and a reactionary 2-on-2. Going back and forth.
And Min Jung-ho taking a lot of damage before she is forced to be tagged out onto Suwon Kim on the KFM, showing his first form today of the season.
Yep.
And actually, Gyeongbok Min, another face that we didn't see yet, does come in on the Blade Dancer tag in.
Alright, we'll see how Suwon Kim plays. There we go. The triple kick lands. The chase into the... Oh, there we go. It's the aerial. The offensive interfere.
With the defensive interfere coming in as well, but not really putting to good effect, because Gyeongbok Min does take a lot of damage before that play has ended.
Ooh, there we go. The Rising Dragon lands, pulls him in. The second win lands on Suwon Kim as well. Going back and forth, they are trading. There we go. The tremor lands, and he is forced to use his escape already.
And Gyeongbok Min literally did nothing before he was tagged out. He just took a lot of damage before he was forced to tag out. But this is the superstar right now of the Superman team that we saw in Game 2. Oh, he's doing a fine job right now, putting down the stun on him.
Yep, with the high wire cord, he pulls him in. Body swap. Second wind is used.
Yeah, second wind is used by Suwon Kim, and man, this guy, Sunhoon Park, he's going to be the player to watch, because he's impressed us in Game 2 for many of his expectation. But KFM Suwon Kim puts him into the aerial, putting into the damage.
Rising Dragon into the aerial. Is a tremor.
Oh, actually putting in the damage, but the interfere does come in. Actually putting a lot of damage onto Sunhoon Park, and yeah, the assassin right now is on slimmest of HP. He has to be tagged down and soon enough, because he doesn't have his escape already. So for the next 25 seconds, he's not going to have it available. I think it will be smart for him to tag out.
Yeah, and I want to just mention Wanshik Lee's interfere was very good. It was a defensive, turned into an offensive, doing a lot of damage.
Actually putting further damage onto Sunhoon Park as well. Wanshik Lee taking some trade damage, but actually putting more damage.
He gets knocked out.
Knocking out Sunhoon Park. It's going to be notably the best player on the team that we've known for. It's the first one to be knocked out currently. So yeah, Hyun Sung Song is going to be the one that's coming out. He did lose in the singles first match, but we're going to see whether he can improve his play for this tag match.
There we go, the tap to the aerial.
There
we go, Rising Dragon for the continual CC.
And that's actually
the leg sweep does not connect.
And just forcing him to use the tab escape, and Suwon Kim doing work on every single one of these members of the Superman. And Suwon Kim doing everything that he can, brings Gyeongbok Min out, and Suwon Kim still out of the field, and the lightning draw.
2 more seconds until his escape comes back, and it is back. Wanshik Lee, good defensive interfere to save him from the continual combo from that Blade Dancer.
And the Blade Dancer putting down the lightning draw, trying to put in damage. He did put some, but I'm sure he wanted more out of it before Wanshik Lee interrupted him from doing that damage. But wow, doing that damage from the interfere, also coming from Suwon Kim directly as well. He's doing work on the KFM right now. They have no answers for this guy, and this is the KFM's Suwon Kim, obviously known as one of the best KFMs in the Korea, but he hasn't shown himself in this series. But right now, first time in this series, showing up and really single-handedly taking out every member.
Oh, the Suwon Kim ult!
Goodness, I think
The
this is
KFM ult with the interfere. He wasn't even on the field. He interfered in with the ult. And
usually we don't see that hit, but like this one, the hit definitely taking out damage from 50% health all the way down. This is going to be Jungkook Min hopelessly staying it out for hopefully the next 5 minutes and 45 seconds, but unlikely so. He does get into the area, but probably won't be enough to finish out all 3 of them.
Yeah. Suwon Kim still does have that interfere for that crucial moment if he feels like, you know, saving his teammate maybe. Or might just use it for the KS.
And there he goes, put the interfere.
There we go.
Damage, and that might be enough. Puts him into the area. Should be
we
good
see
enough.
the big B!
This should be good enough. And the B does finish us off with the G-Fam picking out the win of the series and over Superman. Probably wasn't a surprise in the beginning of the series before we started it, but Game 2 gave us a lot of expectations and hopes for Superman. But this guy right here on the screen, Suwon Kim, doing work on the KFM. KFM, not supposedly meta right now. And that's his boy. And you're not the only fan of KFM. There's a lot of viewers on the KFM side, and to see it dominate such a tag match 1v3 quite literally. He literally knocked out every single one of the man versus Superman.
Yeah, and as right before we got into the match, I was talking about how, you know, GFAM, it looked as if tag was their weaker point of, you know, their team composition. But I wanted to say that, you know, Superman being the rookie team, I hope they get a little bit, you know, more confident, and as they just took the victory, I hope they keep that confidence like, you know, as they move up to the next series, to the next match.
It is a good point that you make, because G-Fam, their innate skills that they have, the innate talents that all 3 players have, it cannot be ignored. We have all seen glimpses of moments where all 3 players performed at the highest level. But it's like what you mentioned, is the lack of confidence and a bit of nervousness and a bit of stage fright as well coming into these competitions that they even mentioned for themselves that was the crucial point and why they underperformed and the results weren't as satisfactory. But like you said, you know, with the 3 teams being the rookie teams, hopefully GFAM can gain the right amount of momentum and the right amount of confidence going to the next rounds and hopefully carry that if they make it to the World Championship. It would be a really nice thing to see.
Yeah, and here we go with the KFM ult. But anyways, after that first death, it was just straightforward. GFAM was definitely just outplaying Superman with tags and interferes, how they utilize their tag and interfere points when they want to come in for offensive interferes or when they want to come in for defensive interferes. Especially Wanxing Lee actually being the weakest link during tag.
That's true.
Actually played very well today with the interferes.
He was very smart with his thing, and he was very smart with the tag outs, but also maybe he listened to his teammates a little more this time. I think that's kind of the one thing, especially Min Jung-ho has been really ranting on him for not tagging out when his teammates already told him to, but good of GFAM to actually get out this series with the 1 series win, and that's going to get them on top of the table initially. And we're going to have to see, starting from the next match, we're going to see the other 2 rookie teams bout it out and see who's going to be the better part of that. But for the first match, I think it was a very satisfactory result that obviously expected of GFAM, but obviously we want to see what GFAM can pull off. But we're going to go to a commercial break shortly, and we're going to be back with the second series of the day, so stay tuned.
줄사를 잠깐 버렸다가 돌아온 한준호입니다. 저가 얼마나 줄사를
저가가 아니라 제가. 제가. 예. 활용연참이 어려워요. 활용연참. 활용연참. 실수했네요. 긴장되는 순간이죠?
아니 네 기권사는 손흥태 선수 같고요. 네.
좀 먹방 같은 것도 한번 할까요?
원하시면 시켜드릴게요.
그래.
아이고!
네, 명언석에 추가됐습니다.
Welcome back to our coverage of the 2017 Blade&Soul Korea Finals. We ended our first match with GFAM getting the first win as expected, but not in the fashion that we expected. Oh, the second game was an interesting one where the rookie assassin really just knocked down Minjung in an instant. It was complete domination, but not in the baddest of fashions. But it was a good match to watch, but it's also just a reminder to us that the rookie teams are never to be looked down upon because they can always surprise us in many ways. Although they didn't get the victory, it would have been a complete surprise for us, but it was still a good game for us in the first set.
Yeah, GFAM just having more experience overall in group, in all of Group A. I just thought they would sweep.
Yeah,
that
was the expected result.
3-0, but you know, they lost the game, and that just proves that Superman is a team that isn't just weak just because they're new or because they're rookies. And same thing with our next matchup, No Name and versus Chobo. They're both rookie teams, but as we just said, we don't know what's gonna happen. We don't know the special talents, and we'll see it in the VCR right now.
안녕하세요. 저는 역사를 플레이하고 있는 오윤동.
안녕하세요. 저는 검사를 플레이하고 있는 장일환이라고 합니다.
제가 챌린저스에 도전하게 된 계기는 여기 이무리 선수가 기공사 플레이를 곧잘 하고 검사를 플레이하고 있는 이란이도 검사를 곧잘 해서 도전할 만하다 싶어서는 하게 되었습니다.
좀 좋지 않은 조합이에요, 사실. 보통 민검이나 주술이 들어가야지 좀 좋은 팟인데 저희는 민검이랑 주술이 없고 파티 저항기까지 겹치고 그러는 조합이기 때문에 그런 게 좀 약점인 것 같아요. 근데 그런 거를 보완하는 여러 가지 무기나 연습을 많이 한 게 있어가지고 아마 괜찮을 것 같아요.
기대하셔도 좋을 것 같습니다.
오늘 저희 경기에서 필살기를 보여드리겠습니다.
저희 목표는 본선 진출이었기 때문에 지금 목표를 좀 수정해서 이제 월챔으로 가고 싶습니다.
월챔이요?
아, 월챔.
준우승 해야 되는데요, 형님.
아, 그래.
제가 죽으면 그냥 답이 없어져요, 이 게임. 그 게임은 그냥 졌다고 봐야 돼가지고 저만 잘하면 될 것 같아요. 저희 같은 조에 지팸이라고 있는 그 선수분들이 계신데 거기 또 검사분 이원식 선수님 계시거든요. 저희 이 팀명이 노네임드인 만큼 무명인이 꽤나 유명하신 검사님이 이원식 선수 잡는 모습 보여드리겠습니다.
파이팅!
안녕하세요. 저희는 초보팀의 권사를 플레이하고 있는 임재훈,
암살자를 플레이하고 있는 신용진,
기공사를 플레이하고 있는 이상준입니다.
시간이 다 안 맞아서 태그하는 게 좀 힘들게 됐는데 개인전에서는 그래도 다른 팀보다는 괜찮게 할 수 있을 것 같습니다. 잡고 싶은 선수들이 있는데요. 팀이 있는데 GPM이라고 잘하는 분들이고 그분들도 조합이 별로 좋진 않지만 노력으로 많이 올라오신 분들이잖아요. 그래서 꼭 그 팀을 꺾어보고 싶습니다.
저희가 연습은 별로 못해도 두 동생이 개인전 센스가 있으니까 태그도 꼭 잘해서 한 4강까지는 올라가고 싶어요.
남는 시간 동안 개인전 위주로 제가 좀 연습해서 개인전에서 많은 도움이 되도록 하겠습니다.
태그 매치에서 많이 부족하다는 말을 들었어요. 별명도 교체 안에서 죽는 리젯이라고 많이 불렸는데 이번에 태그 매치를 많이 연습해서 그 별명 씻어내도록 하겠습니다.
One of the things that I really want to mention is the guy with the sideburn, Jaehoon Lim.
Why do you have to say that? I wanted to say that.
I want to say that.
What? Say it.
He looks like a KFM in real life.
Nope, that's not it. He's the Korean Elvis.
Oh,
come on, you had to say KFM real life.
Imagine Elvis Presley being a kung fu master. How about that? No, but like,
no, he's
so
definitely
exciting.
the Korean Elvis. He has that sideburn. I was keeping that in mind today, but yeah, had to take it away. But anyways, as we just saw during the interview, No Name and Chobo, they are both aiming for GFAM, if you've noticed.
And because right now the GFAM is the only notable team in the Group A, which they are a part of, and No Name and Chobo, we have to also consider that both of these teams aren't the most meta compositions either, because you know they have the Blade Master, they also have the KFM, which is also you like Also these things that really consider into how important meta is, and we saw GC Busan Blue using their meta picks efficiently to get their win, which was nice, but you know we want to see how far these non-meta picks get.
Yeah, definitely.
And the first example is going to be shown to us with No Name and Choba, both rookie teams on level ground. They're going to be facing off with each other with the relatively non-meta picks, and we're going to see if either of these teams can pull out an edge, because Chobo is a team that really emphasizes their singles game. They really are confident with the singles potential of the individual talents that they have, while No Name is a little more focused on their tag variant as well. So that's kind of one thing that we have to keep in mind.
Yeah, during their interview, like overall, Chobo, as you just said, they are more confident in their singles. However, No Name as well, like they may be weaker, but they said during the interview our tag team isn't too strong because we don't have that quote unquote meta picks.
It's true,
and up to the second, we've seen 4 teams so far, and we haven't seen a single Warlock yet. And that's why maybe that's why they're like, oh yeah, we are really the stronger tag team meta pick, and that's understandable.
It is. I mean, like one of the things that surprises us is the lack of Warlocks, and we still haven't seen that many assassins either. Just like these meta picks of Blade Dancers, I think we've only seen like 1 or 2 Blade Dancers in this series so far. So all of these non-meta picks coming into this form in this tournament is going to be a surprise to us. It is really nice because all the variety that we can get with the different classes is going to be telling us a story of whether these non-meta picks can actually make it work.
Yeah, and if you play well with the non-meta pick, it could become a meta, make it into a meta, like GFAM is doing right now. Like they've been performing so well with the 3 classes that they only play. And, they're slowly making their way up.
And after today's series, who's not going to see KFM is not meta anymore? It's like, my goodness, if you can take down 1v3 with a single class, that's obviously a meta pick for us. But the Force Master with Wuri Lim is going to be up for No Name versus the Chobo's Youngjin Shin on the Assassin. Youngjin Shin, he's also the player to look out for in this team. He's supposedly the technically gifted player that is supposed to carry the team in the singles match. We see if he can do that, but he's up against the Force Master early on. And Force Master, we saw in Season 2, can be a very strong pick when used wisely.
Yeah, definitely. And, just being the most recent player, Jung Ho-yoon on the Force Master, as well as, the legend Jae-sung Lee.
Yeah.
Like, whenever I see a Force Master, I always have to compare the player to those 2 players because those 2 players have reached the top. And I want to see how these new Force Masters coming onto the live stage performs.
And to be honest, in our Blade&Soul tournaments, we haven't seen an example of a bad Force Master before. It's true.
There wasn't many Force Masters.
There wasn't many to choose from. Now we have a little more variety of these picks, but we're going to get into the first match to see whether this Force Master can get the job done with No Name. We're going to see the No Name versus Chobo first match of this series. Let's get it on. One day we're going to have that gunner in the intro in the actual game someday, but the first match of this series is Wuri Lim on the Force Master for No Name on the left, and Youngjin Shin on the Assassin for Chobo on the right.
Alright, they are looking for that opportunity, just going back and forth.
Very typical of Force Master and Assassins as well.
Body swap, starting it off.
No damage coming in from it yet. For opportunity. He
Ooh,
does get him into
go.
the stun. It gets him into the area, which continues on with the webbing. He's going to do something with that.
That's on the tip of that ice.
And the landmine barely does connect, it seems. And the Force Master does freeze himself.
All right, I just want to... Yeah, sorry for cutting you off. But right now, when that mine was popped, I think Youngjin Shin isn't used to this 0 ping. He's not used to playing offline with no ping. He definitely wanted to get that back row chase. Yeah. But online, it would have worked.
Yeah,
because there was a slight delay.
Yeah, prediction.
Yeah, but here, if you click it, it's gonna go off right away. Yeah. And it just seemed as if he used it way too early.
And that's the characteristic of offline tournaments, is that 0 ping is something we even haven't experienced before. So it's gonna be a very interesting thing for these rookie players to really overcome these obstacles. But getting into the second area, onto the second webbing again, he doesn't put the landmine down this time around.
All right, the Shadow Slash connects at least, and the body swap continue, but nothing too much happens after that.
considering how much effect that Youngjin Shin has done on the assassin, Wuri Lim still has all of his escapes available. Other than the back roll, he's got to get in 2 seconds. But this is very good of Wuri Lim of keeping his escapes intact because he didn't take too much damage in trade of that.
All right, another body swap. All right, it seems as if Wuri Lim is just...
No, he doesn't know how to use
like, I don't know, this might sound unprofessional, but Wuri Lim is getting PvE'd right now.
Yeah,
like,
literally.
he can't do anything right now to Youngjin Shin right now.
It's like the flower monster in the out in the field when you get attacked. It doesn't use his escape. Wuri Lim on the Force Master is not using it. He uses it now. Frees himself. But perhaps he could have used it a little bit earlier because he does take in some damage.
All right, this is not good. He used his tab escape and his backstep escape. He does make a move right now with the impact. But he doesn't get too much damage, and he is out of all of his escapes. There we go. It's done. He's CC'd. He's done.
Youngjin Shin, the prominent player for this Chobo squad, gets the job done in Game 1. And we do have to give credits to this guy for really making the work done in Game 1, but we have to be a little bit critical of Wuri Lim of some of his decision-making that we saw throughout this game. What do you think about that?
Yeah, like, he did have a chance to use his escapes, but he saved it. That is okay.
Yeah.
That is, you know, we can look over that. But there was this moment where he uses tab escape and then he uses backstep escape, like back-to-back within like 5 to 7 seconds. And when you give that when you make it that obvious to an assassin that both of your escapes are out, then unless you're like 1000% confident that you won't get CC, don't use it back-to-back. And that just gave Youngjin Shin, he's like, all right, now you're both out. Now it's my chance at 1 CC. 1 CC is just gonna do the job.
I know we're talking about macros too much for comfort today, but it just seems like repetitive plays from Wuri Lim was what he showed us, and just like you have to have a little more variety in your plays, especially in the Korean scene when you're gonna go up against these really strong players who can expect what your opponents are gonna do. So Youngjin Shin, he showed a good example of what he can do against those repetitive plays, and he takes a fairly easy win for Game 1, and we're gonna go into Game 2 to see whether No Name can get a win back, but very weak showing from Game 1.
Yeah, and I just like I said, I have to compare it to the previous Force Masters. And like if you see Jung Won-yoon go up against an assassin, he uses a lot of predicted ice bursts. That the ice burst is when you go up into the air and you shoot down ice on the bottom. And if the assassins, they have a lot of moves that dash at you, and if you can predict those and freeze him, it buys you time. It creates opportunities for the Force Masters to go on the offensive. But we haven't seen one ice burst. We didn't see any offensive move from Wuri Lim throughout the whole game.
And for one thing, Jung Won-hyun never loses to an assassin as we feel. Except for a few games that we saw, we want to forget about those. But the second match will begin. I believe it was the Blade Master Irhwan Jang. I didn't see the other one, but it's going to be up against the Chobo's second player who's going to be coming up, trying to get a 2-0 lead, because that's going to be very crucial up to this best of 4 that we're going with, because every point really does make a difference, and Chobo getting a 2-0 lead here is going to be huge, and we're going to see whether they can do that in this second match. The next singles coming up against No Name versus Chobo, coming right your way. Let's get it on. And it is indeed Irhwan Jang on the Blade Master on the 11. We're going to see a different Force Master with Sangjun Lee from the Chobo side. We're going to see if this Force Master was better than the last one, because it really has to be to get a win here.
Yep, and Irhwan Jang being on the Blade Master that we haven't seen a lot.
Woo! Oh my goodness, this is not the same Force Master we saw in Game 1. He does go up into the area, now forces a counterattack from Irhwan Jang, but just right now, Force Master putting the good first damage onto the Blade Master.
Oh yeah, I guess it being not an assassin and being a Blade Master, it
makes it a little bit easier.
Yeah, it allows the Force Master to kind of keep his distance, because the assassin going into stealth and dashing at you, swapping bodies, it's harder, I guess. But right now, it just seems as if Sangjun Lee is prepared for this, but
gets stunned up and has to use the tab escape to get out. He's actually puts him into the aerial.
That was a close call. The Force Master was out of all of his escapes.
And the Irwan Jang didn't get damage onto that stun, which was a kind of a surprising thing.
The glacial beam
and
lands.
Sang-Jun Lee, this is getting a very close match between the two sides. And Sang-Jun Lee taking more damage from the Irwan Jang. And whether they can finish this off, this is going to be it with the second aerial. Looking like enough damage to be done with Irwan Jang, putting 1 point back for No Name. Then it's going to be even at 1v1 going into game 3.
And as I just mentioned, Ice Burst, he uses it and it backfires on him. So basically, he, Sang-Jun Lee.
Yeah, Sang-Jun Lee.
Yeah, he Ice Burst trying to predict that the Blade Master is gonna come in to freeze him, but he keeps his distance, just goes straight into the aerial. That allows an aerial right away because you know he is in the air, spraying down ice. So if you're not gonna land the Ice Burst onto your opponent, it's just gonna give him a free opportunity to do an aerial, and that is what just happened.
And it just goes to show how difficult of a Force Master really is as a class. We've seen very good examples of it from the past with good players playing on that, but with these rookie players trying to get that same result that the other legends are really trying to get in with the Force Master, it's not really happening. And of course we don't want to be result-oriented casters, but you know, 0-2 currently in the 2017 Blade&Soul Korea Finals on the Force Master. Does that mean Force Master is a non-meta pick?
I don't know. Well, I think Jung Yoon and Jason Lee's just been too up there.
That just raises our standard of what the Force Master is supposed to be.
Yeah, that was that Ice Burst that gave the Blade Master that free aerial to finish him off. You know, like the Blade Master probably didn't even expect that. He's like, all right, I'll take that. It just goes into the aerial.
And a pity for Sang-Jun Lee as well, putting the Force Master. He was trying to put in the damage early on, which he did successfully, but he didn't continue on with that as effectively as he could have, and that really just forced him out of that match, forcing Irwan Jang on the Blade Master to actually get the victory off of that one, which was pretty unexpected considering the early parts of the game. So while it seemed like a one-way traffic for Chobo, now we just know that No Name and Chobo are still evenly matched, and we have really no idea what to expect from this tag match coming up.
Yep, this is going to be, again, the last match of this second game. And, the prediction. All right, well, both being a, a
rookie
fairly new team or a rookie team, 87-13. I guess,
maybe they like the team name better.
Yeah,
right?
maybe.
Like, that sounds good. No Name, that sounds really good. I want to vote for them.
Yeah, because as we always mention, it is a fan-based pick. It's not analytical. It has nothing to do with their previous, records or anything on paper. So, just be aware of that when you see the predictions.
Yeah, so a lot of PogChamps going No Name's way with the team names, obviously being successful in getting the fan votes, but it's all really important when you get the tag win to get the win in the series, because each win in this group is going to be very crucial going into their hopes of trying to relive their opportunity to get to the World Championship, because these two teams still can do it as long as they make it to first 2 spots of this Korea Finals.
Yeah, I love this guy. On Chobo, the Elvis.
Elvis.
Like, I just want to give him that nickname. You know, like how Eyebrows has eyebrows,
In real life, Kung Fu Master is going to be what we're seeing from Chobo's side for the first time today, because the decider match between No Name and Chobo will get underway with the tag. Let's get it on. Now that we are fairly aware of the fact that No Name, did Youngjin Shin, did he take? Oh, he took damage. He took damage before the game started. But no errors this time around, because No Name and Chobo does get into the decider match with the tag being the decider, and the destroyer Yoon Dong-oh coming in from No Name, and also Youngjin Shin, the winner of last match, coming in from Chobo as well.
Yeah, and Yoon Dong-oh is gonna win this matchup just because he has a Dino helmet.
Dino helmet always does you proud. It does always does you proud ending, and we have to see whether the Dino helmet can get the work done this time around.
Yeah, get yourself out of the web and ignore that landmine.
Because you are a Dino. Because in Youngjin Shin putting the bombard up, trying to put some damage in. Both players are really saving their escapes until now.
All right, I don't know if that was a prediction backstep, but that that was good by the assassin.
Yundong-Oh on the Destroyer trying to make something happen, but does go up into the area with the landmine, obviously. He always puts that landmine on the tip and trying to put that on the edge. That's going to be dragging him in most likely, putting a lot of damage. Youngjin Shin doing work on the assassin, putting damage onto Yundong-Oh, and now Yundong-Oh has all of his escape, but all that damage taken out of him is going to be crucial.
Yeah, and you know, the Destroyer is forced to use his persistence. He still does have his tab escape, and he is body shot and uses his tab escape. Now the Destroyer is out of all of his escapes.
Oh, that's going to be KO! This is going to be KO for the first match! What?
The defensive interference should have came in right when the both of his escapes were out.
This is an example of the rookie mistake that we saw, because I think there was plenty of time for them to either tag out or at least put in a defensive interfere to negate some of that damage, while Youngjin Shin is going to be happily retreating the field perfectly in full health onto the free tag. Now Sang-Jun Lee is back out on the force mass. He did lose out on the singles, but I'm telling you that early damage he put on the singles, he's doing it again now on Wuri Lim.
Yeah, it's a FM versus FM. We haven't really got to see this matchup ever because there was not that many Force Masters.
It's a treat for us to watch, and Force Masters going both ways. Wuri Lim freezes himself.
No, the Ice Burst lands and he is frozen.
And
there we go, the back row. Okay, he dodges that.
And Sang-Jun Lee not taking any of the damage that Wuri Lim's trying to throw out at him. And right now, Sang-Jun Lee, along with his teammates, is at complete full health, while Wuri Lim is at half health, with obviously Yundong-Oh already going down in the early parts of the game.
Yeah, like they're definitely on comms. They should be briefing each other. And I don't know why there was no interference or like even an early tag out if you had to.
We can just presume that it's a lack of communication from this team, and it's just key crucial communication would be a savior to these situations where now they are tagged out, with Irwan Jang coming in on the Blade Master, who didn't get the win. He did get the win in game 2, but this is going to be a lot harder facing off against 3. Tagged in?
Oh gosh.
What was that about?
Wuri Lim dies with 3 interfere points.
But what was the tag in for?
Yundong-Oh dies with 3 interfere points and 2 tag. So basically what you see here, I don't want to bash on them too much, but I have to a little bit, because if you're going to die with this many points, this is like, it's going to be hard for you to make it up there. You know, with the good teams, and there we go with the Force Master. Oh, just for show, I guess.
Okay.
Ooh, he does bring him in.
And that's going to be coming in of continuation damage on the Irwan Jang. This is looking very grim for No Name, and this is looking very one-sided in favor of Chobo. KFM trying to put some style points onto the play, and as he tries to finish off Irwan Jang, the defense interference does come in, trying to finish him off, and that should be good enough. But we're going back to this play. Even the music comes in late because it was surprised at how fast it ended. But that, as a play-by-play caster, I like to rely on you for analysis and rely on you for game knowledge. But just that tag out with that approximately 20% health coming in that crucial situation, I don't know if that was the right tag to do.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it just seems as if No Name, they were getting pushed into the corner and they were getting nervous. They're like, okay, I have to tag it, I have to tag it, I have to use this point, I have to try to do something with the points to at least defend or help my teammate to go on the offensive, and they were just too hasty on using their points rather than communicating and calculating their interfere and tag.
And that's what it seemed like to me, because Superman and Chobo on this team right now, they're showing very much composure considering the fact that they're rookie teams. They're taking a time and they're making the right decisions when they're capable of, but it just seems like No Name, they're rushed into plays, and they're rushed into making decisions that are sometimes very faulty at times. And the first example will come with Yundong-Oh staying in this full time with the slimmest of health. Could have gotten out any time of this matter.
Well, like right now, first this is where he uses persistence, and then now he already used all of his escapes. So the defensive interfere does come in a little bit late, but it should have came in right as, Yundong-Oh should have actually called for an interfere rather than, waiting for his teammates to come in, because he's gonna have to use his escapes, and he just ends up dying with full points, full tag and interfere points.
And it is unfair to assume in a negative way, but lack of communication is what we're assuming, because just enough calls to say tag out or coming with the defensive interfere. Obviously, you're running low on health, and you need to negate as much of that damage as possible. And that's what they didn't do for this part, and just Chobo just made them look like fools.
Yeah, and what a tag team is all about is if you're lacking in individual skills, your communication and briefing, your teammates cover your flaws or your weaknesses.
Of course.
And No Name did not do that.
And
so that's why this was such a one-sided tag team match.
And
on Chobo's
what
side.
also baffles me is that on the interview, Chobo really regarded themselves as a weak tag team.
Yeah.
And a weaker tag team is No Name, obviously, we saw in this example today, but Chobo is going to be one team to look out for because their singles, we definitely see that they have potential. They have a very good innate talent within these individual players, but just this tag showing from today, of course it was partly due to No Name doing their crucial mistakes, but Chobo, I think we're going to put in a lot of expectations for these guys in the future to come.
Yeah, and now we have GFAM versus Chobo up next, and it's going to be best out of 7. And we're going to be going to a short commercial break right now.
검사를 잠깐 버렸다가 돌아온 한준호입니다. 저가 얼마나 줄사를
저가가 아니라 제가. 제가. 활용연참이 어려워요. 활용연참. 활용연참. 취소했네요. 긴장되는 순간이죠?
아니. 네, 기본사는 손흥태 선수 같고요.
그럼 먹방 같은 것도 한번 할까요?
원하시면
시켜드릴게요.
1. 해보세요. 그래.
아이고!
네, 선수에게 추가됐습니다.
Welcome back to Blade&Soul Korea Season Finals, and we are here on day 1. We're covering Group A today, and we're done with the first 2 matches. Now the 4 teams have faced off, and now we're on to the winners match to decide the top seed in Group
A. Yeah. I was waiting. Why aren't you saying Group A? But anyways, yeah, we do have Chobo versus GFAM, or GFAM versus Chobo.
Yeah.
And GFAM being the quote-unquote, the most experienced in Group A, we expected them to sweep the first match, but they lost 1.
Yeah.
So we don't know yet. And Chobo performed very well against No Name. So I don't know. And if you guys saw on screen, all the teams on the right side have been winning. And right now on this last match, Chobo is on the right side. So you know who knows?
Playing the mind games ending with me, and we're going to go with the last match to decide who's going to be the first seed going into the winners match up next week. But right now, we're going to be going on to introducing the teams, but right now
there
Chobo
won't be any VCRs because they didn't predict who's going to make it up. But we are going to be showing the faces of the players once again.
GFAM has been unexpectedly, what do you have to say? They have been a little bit outside the expectation because we expected them to sweep over the rookie teams, which was completely an acceptable expectation to have for these guys. But they lost the crucial match game 2, which made them look startlingly behind the other team. But in the end, they got the clean tag win, which got them to win the series. But on the other side, Chobo, we don't know what to expect from these rookie teams ever. And this was one of the teams that started to sparkle in their eyes into what they are potentially capable of.
Well, however, regards to what you just said about GFAM losing, their second match.
Yeah.
But they've always been pretty much solid in their singles overall. Their weakness was their tag, and today their tag was it's solid.
It's true.
And we can tell they practiced their tag. They practiced their communications. So, I'm very excited to see how GFAM will do against Chobo. Even though Chobo is a rookie team, they've been playing well. They've showed us how strong they could be. So I'm very excited to see this last match of today. It's going to be best out of 7.
And considering what you're saying about GFAM, it's important that you always improve on your weaknesses, and the tag being their complete weakness that we've seen from time to time. GFAM definitely, we saw glimpses of that where they improved themselves on that. But this is the other team that we're looking at with Chobo, especially with Elvis on the right, going in as the KFM in real life. But this team is really exciting to see because Youngjin Shin, you see on the middle with the blonde hair, he's on the assassin, and he has really sparked his style. And we know that this is the player to watch out for, but he really exceeded our expectation from the singles we saw him earlier in the day.
Yeah, definitely. And, Youngjin Shin, just because you mentioned him just now, he's only registered with just an assassin. So that just means he's not going to swap any characters. He's just going to go along with the assassin throughout the tournament. And as I mentioned before, it's best out of 7. So it's best out of 7, but first team to reach 6 points is going to be the winner. And singles will be 1 point, tags will be 2 points. That's all you guys have to know so far.
And a change that we made to this season finals was that we usually had this game 6 when it was 3-3, and no matter who won, it didn't make any difference. So we decided to skip over that. If there was a case where it's 3-3 by the end of game 5, we're going to go straight on to game 7 to have the decider match. So there's no confusion on that any longer. So you guys have every match that counts towards the actual results now. So the Chobo versus GFAM is going to be an exciting one. It's going to be a long one for sure, with the best of 7 coming your way. But we're going to have the first match with the singles coming up. We're going to see who takes the first point. It's going to be a very important point for each of these squads. We're going to see who gets that first point. Let's get it on. The good old trusty Wan Shik-Lee on the Blade Master is out on the first match for GFAM, and it's going to be Sang-Jun Lee on the right side with the Force Master, with Chobo representing his squad. Sang-Jun Lee, he won at the singles last time around in the previous series, and Wan Shik-Lee did the same with his Blade Master, but it's going to be a situation where the Blade Master has to overcome the Force Master.
Yeah, and Wan Shik-Lee actually has been the Blade Master that has beaten Jung Ho-yoon, the Force Master, 2 times. twice, not just once, twice. So I want to see how he plays against the Sang-Jun Lee.
And already, as you mentioned, he already forces out the 2 escapes away from the Force Master Sang-Jun Lee. And Wanshi Lee is on a roll, starting us off. And Wanshi Lee really wants to get the foothold going into this.
Well, Sang-Jun Lee does have his backstep escape. So, you know, they both have their secondary escapes. Wanshi Lee, if he gets Phantom Grip, he will flock of blades out. Yeah, I hope. But we'll have to see what happens. Nothing too crucial has happened yet.
But that's the characteristic of a Blade Master versus a Force Master, is that you can escape from that with the secondary escape away from the Phantom Grip. So the Blade Master in advantage in regarding that part, but he's going to be looking a lot more than that because he's wanting the damage onto Sang-Jun Lee, which is trying to get it. They're both taking it slow for the moment, and this might be his opportunity, taking into the aerial, going on to the second aerial perhaps, and it's going to be continuation damage, putting a good amount of damage, continuing on, and doesn't use the escape for Sang-Jun Lee, and Sang-Jun Lee keeps his escape with 40% of his health away right now.
That Phantom Grip and the Flock of Blades knocks him back in. All right, that gives him too much health back, Sang-Jun Lee.
Typical of Force Masters to freeze him back up to literally travel back in time.
Yeah, you don't want to hit them when they're in that ice.
But Wanshi Lee did a good job though, putting into the double aerial, trying to put in some damage.
He just waited out that tab escape so he doesn't get knocked back, kept that perfect distance. Wanshi Lee is playing very smart right now.
Wanshi Lee has all of his resources available. He has all of his escapes to work. He does have the Phantom Grip. Probably going to escape out of this in time. But seems
well, he does. Yeah, he's out of Flock of Blades, so he can't. And he uses his tab escape to escape out of it afterwards when he gets knocked down. But right now the time is 45 seconds left, and overall, as you can see, Wanshi Lee did more damage, and Sang-Jun Lee has healed up a lot.
So even if it goes to TKO, we obviously know the clear winner is right now. He's putting more damage on that too. Add insult to injury, and this is going to be continuation damage coming into Wanshi Lee. Might he just look out for the last remaining 30 seconds to just close this out with a TK and get a clean 1-0 for GFAM. And
there we go.
And despite of that, Sang-Jun Lee has to do something, because right now ending the game in this manner will not do him any justice. And that's going to be his chance, but no damage coming onto Sang-Jun Lee.
Okay. The Ice Burst lands. It seems as if Sang-Jun Lee is getting more desperate. He is playing more aggressive. He is ice bursting out of his ice armors right away.
And perhaps he should have done this in the early parts of the game, maybe. But this, we obviously know who the clear winner is. Wanshi Lee is going to doubt him above the damage, most likely, as long as we're not calculatively wrong. And it is indeed Wanshi Lee coming out with the win on the TKO for the damage charts.
Almost double. It was almost double.
And it pretty much expected, you know, Wanshi Lee took barely any damage, and in return took a lot of damage onto Sang-Jun Lee. Even with the healing up, just kind of showing us why the Force Master should be a little bit more aggressive in the early game, no matter how afraid you are.
Yeah, and I'm comfortably to say, you know, that Wanshi Lee is the Force Master's worst enemy, right?
It says G-Farm.
Oh, did it? Did it say that?
Yeah, it did say G-Farm.
Oh, no.
Please do not call them G-Farm for your Twitch viewers out there. We will continue to call them G-Fam no matter what OGN decides to call them. We will not troll on them by calling them G-Farm. But going back to the game, what do you consider this overall outplay? Could Sang-Jun Lee have done anything better?
Well, Wanshi Lee has that confidence going up against Force Masters to start with.
Yeah.
And Wanshi Lee just beating Jung Ho-yoon, it means that he is so, you know, well prepared for Force Masters. So Sang-Jun Lee, he did try his best. He did switch it up in mid-game where, like early game, he was playing it very slow defensively. But throughout, like starting from mid-game, he bursted out of his ice armor faster, tries to go out aggressive, throwing down the meteor storms. But it's just, you know, Wanshi Lee he's so used to that Force Master play that he just comfortably dealt the damage that he needed to. He didn't overdo his actions.
And even within the Phantom Grip, we saw he used his tab escape to escape that, but actually it was a good play because he took little to no damage in the result of that play, and didn't get punished for the use of tab escape. So in the end, Wanshi Lee knows how to work against the Force Master, and he showed that against the best. And now he showed against Chobo's side with Sang-Jun Lee. Now that's going to be a 1-0 up for GFAM, and Chobo has to look for more hopes. Of course, you know, with this being a best of 7, 1 point is not going to kill the difference, but each momentum that you take into every match is going to be very vital, as into, you know, whether GFAM is going to be continuing on with this with the second match with Suwon Kim on your favorite KFM. going up against the Youngjin Shin, our prominent player on the Assassin. This is the guy to look out for.
These are the two stars of the team, if I may say.
Very true.
They are both, they both perform very well during tag as well as singles, both of them. So Youngjin Shin, even being on the rookie team, we've seen his assassin at work, and I'm very excited to see, a new assassin coming into play against, Soo-Won Kim, who has been a formidable KFM throughout this season, last season, and last year.
Sure, and if you look on the screen, Youngjin Shin, he looks extremely confident about his situation. Yeah. He is not afraid at one bit against prominently the best KFM in the game, but we're going to see whether Youngjin Shin can prove his confidence and make it work into a result on the Game 2 singles coming your way. Let's get it on. This second match really could tell us the true story of these two teams, where the best players, essentially, of the two squads now gonna face it off in singles. And Youngjin Shin, he has showed incredible amount of confidence going into this match. Whether he can translate that into result, we have to see.
Yeah, and he lands that ice mine in the air, in midair. Yeah, that was good.
Hard to see that.
Yeah, but he made nothing out of it yet. There we go, tab escape is used by Soo-Won Kim already. There we go into the area with the flurry.
As soon as he picks up the flower, Soo-Won Kim goes up on the aerial, puts him under the stun. He might have to use a stun, but he's too late. He gets him onto another aerial. Soo-Won Kim putting in incredible amount of damage. And to a reminder of us that Soo-Won Kim, this is the same Soo-Won Kim who carried his team 1v3 against the former series that we saw earlier in the day. But Soo-Won Kim looking extremely good.
Whoa,
still!
That leg sweep during that stealth was amazing play by Soo-Won Kim.
Youngjin Shin, all that confidence has not gone anywhere, because he goes into the stealth and tries to make something happen, puts him down to knockdown.
Yeah, and that back roll, he didn't make any effort to chase that as well.
So a little bit of intimidation coming in from Soo-Won Kim now. It's going to be enough damage probably. Doesn't finish him off yet.
Right click. All right.
In a moment of time, Soo-Won Kim will finish him off, and this looks like a one-sided match. Best time to send out Soo-Won Kim, who hasn't come out for the singles in the previous series, now puts himself available in this series, and the singles is making a statement towards Chobo that you guys are the rookie team, we are the experienced team, and Soo-Won Kim really stepping up this season. I have to mention that.
Yeah, and he just made such great plays, especially that leg sweep during Youngjin Shin being in stealth. Just buying himself time and creating an opportunity when an assassin is in stealth. That's his opportunity. Yeah. But Soo-Won Kim landing that leg sweep, it just flipped that board, brought that offensive, from starting from a defensive position, created the opportunity to go on the offensive, and Soo-Won Kim just overall just outplayed Youngjin Shin.
It was a complete outplay indeed, and he's been showing that all day, especially starting from the tag and now on to the singles. We have to mention how Soo-Won Kim has improved essentially, starting from Season 2, that, Season 1, obviously he carried his team going into the semifinals, but this is where you mentioned the complete domination of the seemingly confident Youngjin Shin, who couldn't have any answers in response to what Soo-Won Kim was throwing at him.
Yeah, the replay speaks for itself. Soo-Won Kim just landing all of his CCs. He knows when to use it. Yeah. He knows the cooldowns, obviously. So, Youngjin Shin could not make any moves on Soo-Won Kim.
And there was nothing to really speak of for Youngjin Shin, who was spectacular in the previous series against another rookie team. But against the likes of GFAN, and especially against the best KFM, as we know, with Soo-Won Kim, he looks baffled just as we are, because, I think we expected a little more off of Youngjin Shin than that one.
Yeah, and Chobo, in their interview, they said they want to go up against GFAN because they are formidable, even with a non-meta pick, and they want to, try to beat them. That will give them the confidence, but it is definitely not going their way, and this first tag team match of this Game 3 is going to definitely be the game maker. Even though it's not the last game, it's going to either break Chobo's mentality, or it's just gonna gain them some confidence if they are able to take this win.
And the confidence you speak of is very prominent for GFAM especially, because getting this win in tag right now is already good at getting in a good footstep, and 4-0 is going to be hugely going through. But just beyond that, just the fact that you are a rookie team facing off against a veteran team, and the fact that you're already 4-0 behind is an extreme mental shock to them. And we're going to see whether Chobo can bring this back. This is going to be a question to ask, because we're going to get the tag match underway with Game 3 between GFAM and Chobo coming right your way. So let's get it on. No offense to GFAM in any way, but it's so awkward to say that GFAM is a dominating team right now.
Yeah, like, yeah, we've usually seen GFAM on the, you know, the minority vote, the lower, you know, the lower bracket, like
You're
losing
always the underdogs.
Yeah, the underdogs. But you know, they you know, they have to have a chance to show them what they've got.
And this is a really good chance for these guys to build up the confidence that they have been lacking, as stated by themselves. And Min Jung-oh is one of the few characters really has emphasized the lack of confidence that she had in the tournaments, and she's going to try to look to get that back. The cat taking a lot of damage, and the cat is down to 10% health. This is looking very good for Min Jung-oh, who has no escape to work with other than the back roll that is going to be very helpful.
It's okay, she's a summoner. She has tons of heals.
Hey,
it's okay. It's okay.
But it's going to be enough to force out One Shigli and the Blade Master back into the play. And Youngjin Shin, this guy is going to be looking for redemption, because he knows himself that this was not the performance that he should have expected in Game 2.
The area for the defensive interfere. That was good on GFAM right now. The defensive interfere.
The defensive interfere coming in from Suwon Kim on point with that defensive interfere, negating much of that damage. Now the interfere coming in from Chobo as well, trying to make some damage off of them to One Shigli.
Yeah, that was an offensive interfere. They staggered that interfere on purpose, but they made nothing out of it. They just basically wasted an interfere point.
But One Shigli is still out of his tag right now, out of his escape right now. So this is a chance for Youngjin Shin with the 10 seconds that he has. That's going to be a chance for him to make a play, but Min Jung-oh does come in the interfere, tries putting some damage. Negate some of that damage. You're forced to use another tag.
The force tag is coming.
Oh, the chase is going to be...
Oh, no.
It's actually going to be happening on, but Min Jung-oh on the summoner is forced back out now. GFAM is already used to use 2 tag points already, while Chobo has all of their tag points still available. They only went with the free tag. Now it's on the Sangjin Lee on the Force Master back out. Oh, actually putting good damage onto One Shigli. The Meteor! It's actually going to put in a lot of damage, and this is going to be looking good. First time looking good for Sangjin Lee now.
This is the revenge that, you know, Sangjin Lee wants on One Shigli for beating him.
And this is the exact amount of momentum that they really need to shift back into their way, because the momentum is going to be very crucial going into the best of 7s. And right now, Chobo is looking to be clearly the better team right now, with so many resources available to them.
Yeah, and One Shigli is trying to make an opportunity offensive into the reactionary 2-on-2 interfere.
And a little bit late from Chobo, but a good offensive interfere from One Shigli from the GFAM side to make the most out of that opportunity. But Sangjin Lee is still at a decent amount of health to work with. He has all of his escape available, while One Shigli is out of his tab escape. Uses another tag out. Now he may be feeling nervous about the lack of tag escapes that he had, but this is going to be a 2v2.
Oh no, Sangjin Lee takes too much damage.
Oh, but it does tag out in time, and Youngjin Shin does come back out with a healthy Suwon Kim, trying to do some work for GFAM like he did in the previous series.
All right, Min Jung-oh and One Shigli both having 1 interfere left, so as long as Suwon Kim is able to endure on the field, because he is out of all of his interferes, but he does have 2 tag points, so it makes sense that Suwon Kim is on the field, where the 2 teammates with the interferes are on bench. So they're going to try to knock 1 player out at a time.
So whether Chobo can make an opportunity out of this resources that they have with the tag points being at their favor. Now Suwon Kim taking a lot of damage. He can't afford to take a lot of damage because he has to stay alive for a long time.
All right, that back roll chase with the landmine was good.
And this was the assassin ult. The tag point coming in for Min Jung-oh.
Oh, there we
go! Good enough damage to knock out Youngjin Shin. And despite how ahead Chobo actually was, Youngjin Shin is going to be the first man to be knocked out of this tag match. And right now, GFAM is ahead 3-2.
Yep, and now Min Jung-ho is on the field with 1 interfere points but no tag points. So she basically has to endure 1 minute and 18 seconds until she is force tagged out. So if she does get knocked out, within that 1 minute, they definitely want to try to do that.
Right now, the interfere point is what Min Jung-ho is going to be relying on once she does get that back soon enough. But right now, Jae-hoon Lim, who we haven't seen too much of, is out on the field against Min Jung-ho and trying to do something with it.
Well, it's basically Min Jung-ho on her own.
Yep.
Because her teammates don't have any interfere points to help her out. She doesn't have a tag point to tag out. So for the next 45, 47 seconds, she's alone.
And Jae-hoon Lim is trying to make some work with that.
Ooh, the cat actually hits that ult.
And
that daze.
We usually don't see that from the summoner, but this time it does hit. And the jump.
Oh, the KFM ult.
Oh my god, the KFM ult! What was that damage?
The KFM ult. Oh my.
When's the last time we saw KFM ult hit?
Oh, we actually did see it.
Oh, actually we did see it earlier in the day.
This was as good as that one.
Wow, but you guys now know that you guys should be playing KFM trying to hit that ultimate every single time. Oh! A lot of series of plays coming in. Wan Xingli trying to make something work.
Yeah, with that ult again. Oh my god, ults back and forth. Watching Lee use his ult and, Sung Jin Lee's like, yo, I got my ult too.
And Sang Jin Lee does heal a good amount of his health back into play, and he does have 1 more tag point if he chooses to use it. And Wan Xing Lee is going to be looking for this opportunity. Both of them has very little escapes to work with, but Wan Xing Lee is going to be looking for this opportunity to get his team even further ahead. Double aerial is going to be looking onto the additional damage coming onto this play, but Sang Jin Lee gets out of there before he can take too much.
Yeah, and Sang Jin Lee does get so the tab escape was traded, but he tags out. Watching Lee is in a difficult position right now. No escapes, no tag points, no interfere points.
And this is looking very good chance for Chobo. Now gets him into the stun into continue damage. And the KFM doesn't seem to stop. This is going to be good enough damage, most likely. And this is going to be a knockout for another member of GFM. Now Suwon Kim, the savior, has to be the one to carry this game, but it's automatically chased as soon as he comes in. And it is onto the aerial, taking a lot of damage early on.
Oh no! You didn't see the ice ball on top?
And Suwon Kim just tossing away a huge opportunity that he could have gotten with the damage.
Oh, the triple kick lands!
Oh, but Suwon Kim now taking the damage off of that stun, and he can't do anything about this. And Jae-hoon Lee, who we haven't seen anything about this guy, now is going to be doing enough damage onto GFM. Or he doesn't finish him off there.
What? Come on!
Maybe his skills were on cooldown
June.
there.
Oh
no! Now this he might regret this opportunity. Now Suwon Kim is going to be looking for this God-given opportunity to come back into this play, but Jae-hoon Lim now uses the attack point that he has available. Now Force Master trying to finish him off, trying to put the burst damage onto him, trying to finish him as quickly as he can, because the longer GFM is alive, is going to get nervous for Chobo, and this is they have to finish him off as soon as possible.
Kim is just amazing right now. He just made Jae-hoon Lim waste his interfere point. So now it's comfortable for Suwon Kim to do a 1v1 with Sang Jun Lee.
It's the slimmest of health that he has to work with, though. Sang Jun Lee is going to be looking for just 1 burst damage, and it's going to be enough to finish him off. But Suwon Kim, as a prominent player that we know he is, he's going to be looking for some way, but it won't be enough to go up against the 1v2 on that slimmest of health that GFAN is now even. They're even with 2v2. 2v2 versus Chobo, and Chobo, this is where they make their statement and really just call themselves that they are evenly matched team against GFAM.
Yeah, that was a very
nice play.
Very well played. GFAM looked like they well, I don't want to say wasted, they used up their tag and interfere points too hasty.
Yeah, it was.
They did make some good interfere ins, tagging in, interfere in. Yeah, well, anyways, they did use their interfere points wisely. However, it's just Chobo, them taking a little more damage early game, but them saving those tag and interfere points for the mid-late game actually brought them the victory, creating more opportunities, and, it was very well played by Chobo.
And as you see on the screen, Suwon Kim looks very frustrated at his situation where I think the communication between his teammates wasn't to his benefit, because Suwon Kim being the captain of the team, he makes the primary shot calling, which have been successful in the past, but in games like this where you talk about those tag points and when you talk about those interfere points that have been used a little bit more hastily, and those things really run into the end where you don't have any of those resources available anymore, then you just can't win out the game 1v2.
Yeah. Well, it was, see, like right now, if you notice, like, you know, Chobo gets one of Chobo's players gets taken out first. Yeah. So that is the result of GFAM using their interfere points early on in the game. So creating that you know, advantage. Sure. However, they have to utilize that. They have to capitalize on that man down. However, but Min Jung-ho just gets hit by that KFM ult and she just gets knocked out with almost 50 health to 0.
So as you say, ending is it was more of a perceived advantage that GFAM had because they knocked one man out, but it was due to a lot of resources being used to make that happen. So in the later turn of the event, in the later parts of the game where they didn't have those resources anymore, and Chobo with a lot more resource advantage with those tag points and interference available, it was prominent that they were going to actually get out the advantage and translate that into a win, which they did. So very good of the Chobo squad to actually make that done. Very calm and very settled against this very experienced veteran team.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Like if GFAM, if they want to use up their points, that's fine because they get to knock out a player. But they have to be confident enough to get that snowball rolling. Like you can't have using all your points and get knocked out later on. You have to keep that snowball rolling, make it bigger. Don't give the opponent the chance to come back. But they gave them that opportunity to come back, and now we have our 4th match back to singles.
And GFAM is going to be sending out Min Jung-ho on the Summoner, while Jae-hoon Lim, the Elvis in real life Kung Fu Master, is going to be playing the Kung Fu Master for the Chobo side. And this is going to be really the clincher for how much momentum Chobo can shift onto their future games, because now this is going to be the important parts of the best of 7 where now it's 2v2. Now each point will really matter into the progression of the game, and there's going to be a chance for Chobo to make a statement here and get another point right back.
Exactly, and because it's tied, it's basically 0-0 because it's tied, and whoever wins this set is going to probably continue that momentum. Because, Chobo wasn't able to win any singles yet, so this is their chance to prove GFAM wrong. And we are ready for our next set. Let's get into it.
We are in this 4th match between GFAM and Chobo, and we are with Summoner Min Jung-ho on the left side on the Summoner, of course, and Jae-hoon Lim on the Kung Fu Master, as you are always excited about.
Yeah, I'm always excited for KFM. Like, whoever is playing KFM, it's just because I like, he's my character.
Just meet a friend for the first time and they just introduce you, say, hey, I play KFM, then you're just Ending's best friend. Yeah. Oh, but that's not going to be good. Oh! What is this damage coming up from the Min Jung-ho along with the Cat's help putting in the additional damage? But Jae-hoon Lim, 100 to 40 quite literally in an instant. And it's going to be looking very bad. He has already used his tab escape.
All right, Min Jung-ho using that tab escape, but Jae-hoon Lim knocking her out of stealth was crucial right now. That probably startled Min Jung-ho right now.
But actually, that's going to be one escape less for Min Jung-ho. Now, this is going to be Jae-hoon Lim putting some damage back. That's like going to be the Summoner. Typically, once you give her the opportunity, she will put a lot of damage on you with the Cat helping her out.
Yeah, Rumble Bees. The bees are going to sting. It's going to hurt.
Right? And, I don't like getting stung by Rumble Bees, and probably this Elvis guy doesn't either. And he seemed a little bit baffled because we always know this. Yeah, we always know the Summoner as this burst damage class, where if you give him an opportunity, the burst damage will come your way. And he took that 2 times in a row, and that's just literally 100 to 0 KO.
Yeah. Oh, they fixed it. It's not G-Farm anymore.
Hey!
Quick fix. But anyways, I was surprised how fast Jae-hoon Lim was taken out because he played fairly well during the tag team matches. So I was expecting maybe even whoever wins, regardless of who wins, I thought Jae-hoon Lim was going to give, Min Jung-ho a hard time. But it was a fairly easy game, a fast game.
Yeah, but Jae-hoon Lim on the screen, as you see, looks very frustrated at himself for the performance that he had. But no shouts to him because it's just one mistake really could make all the difference for against a summoner, because just like that, you can take all the damage out in an instant, and that just really decides the match between the two classes. And now Min Jung-ho getting the GFAM side back on track with a 3-2 lead now, and we're gonna head on to Game 5. It's gonna be another singles, and hopefully this is gonna be another decider to help us decide which team is the better one right now, because it's really hard to tell just right now.
Yeah, well, there's only one more singles left, which is now set 5. And even if GFAM wins, let's just say Chobo is a better tag team overall, then they're gonna take the victory in the end, because there's one more singles and then we have 2 more tag teams left. So now we have Wonshik Lee on the Blade Master and Youngjin Shin on the Assassin.
And this is the man we've always been watching for, Youngjin Shin. He has been performing well, but a little bit inconsistency might be the right word for this guy, because in the first singles of this series, he didn't perform as well as we probably expected him to. But this is his chance to really step it up for his team, because Chobo really needs a good win and a good 1 point heading into this 3v3 potentially. And this is going to be a chance for Chobo to really make a statement. As confident as this guy looks, sometimes it just doesn't translate into the plays. And whether he can do it this time around against the same enemy that he lost to in singles in the Game 1, let's see how it does. That way, let's see whether he can keep smiling after that game. We have to see, but it's going to be going on to the next match.
Yeah, and Wonshik Lee has actually been pretty consistent on his Blade Master during singles, so we'll have to see how he plays against an Assassin. Let's get ready to get into set 5.
And Game 5 does begin between GFAM and Chobo, and GFAM currently is up 3-2, and this is going to be another chance for Wonshik Lee to get a repeat performance that he got in Game 1 against the same opponent, Youngjin Shin. And he's going to be looking to add another point onto GFAM.
Forces Youngjin Shin to use his tab escape or stealth right off the bat, puts down the flower, goes aggressive, forces Wonshik Lee to use his tab escape as well.
So Youngjin Shin doing work right after that plays, but does go over to the double aerial. So a little bit of graphic glitch it seems like, but nevertheless, we can see what's going on, and Youngjin Shin, without his escape, puts the landmine, now puts him not on the edge anymore, so good of him. Good of him to do that. Actually, doesn't pop it right away.
It might be over.
It might be. He puts it right away, trying to put in continuation damage as much as he could. Wow, what a combo from Youngjin Shin.
This is the Assassin.
Woo!
Like, this is...
Whoa, my goodness.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy.
This guy, I'm telling you. It's do or die. It's all in or nothing. This guy, Youngjin Shin. How many times do you see an assassin?
No. An assassin doing 100 to 0 is it's not uncommon.
I don't think I think it's a little bit uncommon against Wonshik Lee though. He was very prominent and really calm throughout the singles matches. That's what I wanted to really mention, because Wonshik Lee, he won the first singles in a pretty comfortable fashion, and just this same repeat matchup that we had in Game 5. It was a surprise that Youngjin Shin pulled it off.
Yeah, well, give any assassin, a formidable assassin, and an opportunity where when they know you don't have an escape, you're done. 100 to 0 by an assassin is an obvious fact when they know you don't have an escape. It's just continual stuns, continual CCs into tons of damage.
Tons of damage that it was, because Youngjin Shin, this is the guy that I'm really looking forward to, because plays like that really shows how impressive he can be, but on the other hand, he can be extremely disappointing on the other hand as well, losing down 100 to 0 in an instant as well, where he can pull that off himself. But this is going to be going on to this with 3v3 now.
Yeah.
And even for Chobo against GFAM, and this is going to be going on to the tag match. Now we have the situation where we mentioned to you that if it's 3v3 by the end of Game 5, we're going to be going to the last match, and this will be the last match. It won't be like the previous season where this match won't matter anymore, but this is going to be the actual last match, deciding the winner of this series.
Yeah, so basically, like we told you, that best out of 7 is first team to reach 6 points, and right now they're tied at 3-3.
Yeah.
So usually it would have been set 6, which will be 2 points, and it'll give either team 5 points, and it's basically useless.
Yeah.
So we decided to change it, so if it becomes 3-3, the next tag will be 3 points, giving whoever wins the team, the victory of this whole set or this whole series.
So thank you to OG and NCSoft for making that change. It was a good change indeed, and we won't get an extra game to enjoy these two teams off, unfortunately. But we will get the decider, and we will move right on to the last match of the series between GFAM and Chobo. We're gonna see which team gets to be the winner of Group A, and let's get the match underway. As we sort of expected with these two teams, having watched them in day one of today, we expected these guys to be fairly even, and they showed exactly what they're capable of. And Chobo, seemingly behind the first two games, now come back with enough points to get into the last match. But Min Jung-ho, who's been looking very strong for the most part, is up against Youngmin Shin, also the superstar of this team. Who can make the first statement, we have to see.
Yep. Nothing too much is going on right now. Both of them have their escapes. The landmine does not connect.
Yeah. And Youngmin Shin putting in the stun onto Min Jung-ho and putting the bombard and put the damage. Perhaps she could have used the escape, but she does use it now, and she is out of the tab escape. And Youngmin Shin now has to use his escape. Stealth is out of the way. And there's not going to be more bombard, actually more damage on Min Jung-ho. Min Jung-ho looking a little bit baffled in this play. Once she comes in for the defensive interfere, doesn't get too much out of that.
Yeah, Min Jung-ho getting bombarded on the cat and herself is going to just give Chobo the damage advantage if it ever goes down to a TKO.
Yeah.
So you don't want to do that. You don't want your cat and yourself to get double CC'd. So Min Jung-ho has to watch out for that. And she does get her escape back as well as Youngmin Shin. So let's go. There we go.
Another stun into the area. There's a landmine. Will probably connect. Doesn't really connect. But Youngmin Shin putting into the area as soon as she gets her escape back. Now, obviously in the area, she can't use the escape, so she still has her escape available along with Youngmin Shin. So Youngmin Shin feeling pretty good about his situation. He's gonna go continuously ham onto the team, and the defensive interfere coming in from GFAM as well. And the force tag out will, she actually used the tag out before, and the chase does come into play. And the force tag also chased by GFAM as well, so the chase working for both sides. But the difference is that GFAM had to use one of his tag points, whereas Chobo was force tagged, so getting a free tag out of that. But actually the Force Master putting in the Meteor. But before that, a lot of damage. Another tag point has to be used for GFAM. This is looking like a deja vu of the last tag match.
Yeah, Suwon Kim finally comes out on the field. The team captain, he wants to make something out of this right now. It is not looking good for GFAM right now.
Yeah, and he has to really do that because the Force Master, as soon as One Shigli came in, he put in a lot of damage as soon as he put out burst, but
escapes that Phantom Grid with that mid frost, dodges that ice burst right now. Suwon Kim wants to stay out as long as possible, but he is out of all of his escapes right now for the next 20 seconds, so we'll see if he decides to use another tag point for his team.
But it's really a reminder to the previous tag match we had between these two sides, where the tag points were used so early in the game by the GFAM, and that really costed them the game essentially in the end. And not even this time around, because still GFAM doesn't find any answers towards this Force Master.
Yeah, the back roll chase connecting by Youngmin Shin forces Wan Xingli to use his last interfere points right now.
And there's going to be a lack of resources again for GFAM, and Min Jung-ho does come in, tries to make something work, but freezes himself, making that interfere useless. And Sang-Jun Lee doing everything right. Textbook plays all around, does get stunned up. Well, without the tag point, does go into the Phantom Grid. There's no way that Suwon Kim will be able to escape from this one. Does force out the offensive interfere, actually coming in with the Force Master, putting in some damage. But Suwon Kim still healthy for most part, but doesn't have his escape to work with. And it's going to be the situation where Suwon Kim has to make something happen, but Min Jung-ho does come in.
Okay, Suwon Kim did a good job landing that tremor and tagging out, leaving that opportunity for Min Jung-ho, but she could not capitalize it too much right now.
And not much damage coming in from Min Jung-ho's immediate tag out. Now, you can see that one tag point has been used by every player on GFAM's side, whereas Chobo has all of their tag points available. So
be aware that you don't get tag points back.
You don't, and that's going to be the translation into incredible amount of resource advantage that he has. But Suwon Kim, regardless of that play, he's going to make something work, trying to put in some damage, but he's having a difficult time trying to put in the damage that he really wants to.
Yeah, Jaehoon Lim has to tag out.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Min Jung-ho is lasting out there, and that's what they want to
do. Healing herself back, but this is going to be not good for the TKO if it does happen. But Youngjin Shin out on the field trying to make something work, but Wonshik Lee on the slimmest of health trying to make something work. This is going to be very careful. He does have his escape available, but only one tag point.
One more!
Oh.
One more!
And
woo! Alright, so that was a Blade Master ult.
So he does escape from the last bit of the Blade Master ult, but...
oh, there we go, the ult!
Youngjin Shin.
They're just using their ults back to back.
It looks nice, but like the landmine is going to be onto the webbing as soon as he pops in, and he's going to bombard onto the landmine. Actually does connect for double amounts of damage. And Wonshik Lee is going to be looking very slim as he only has one tag that he really has to save up because the later parts of the game.
Oh!
Okay. Now he has to be tagged out with Suwon Kim. He has one tag point available.
That was dangerous right there.
Yeah, Wonshik Lee could have died if he didn't tag out in time. So that's one of the improvements that GFAM has made as a team to tag out efficiently.
Sangjin Lee heals up. Suwon Kim hits him and dies.
This is really bad for GFAM because right now Suwon Kim is the only player to have just one tag point available, and even if he's to tag out, the other teammates have to stay intact. Yeah. But even that interfere trying to come in, forcing that, actually, mark my words, that was a lot of damage coming in from the interfere from Min Jung-ho. But that very good job of GFAM making a very crucial play now.
Alright, GFAM is slowly making Chobo use up their points now.
Yeah, very good of GFAM to do that, and Youngjin Shin comes back on the assassin, puts the bombard down, but actually takes the damage in return without putting the damage onto his opponent. But Suwon Kim, now being the team captain, has to make this work. The interfere coming in from Sangjin Lee.
Force Master doing nothing with the interfere in.
But it's going to be another tag out. Suwon Kim doing exactly what he needs to do, putting the damage onto interfere. Min Jung-ho putting another burst of damage with that interfere. Very good use of the short amount of interfere that they had.
Why isn't he why didn't he tag out?
He had the tag point available. Maybe he was a little bit too startled by the burst of damage that came his way. But Min Jung-ho making the crucial plays 2 times in a row now with the interfere, putting a lot of damage. Now putting Chobo incredibly behind. This is looking very bad for Chobo now with that death of Juwon Lim. This is looking very bad. The Jaehoon Lim is going to be out and Sangjin Lee is going to be out. This is going to be very crucial for Chobo. The GFAM really were at a disadvantage, but now they're completely back in the game.
Yeah, good hold on Wonshik Lee, not healing Sangjin Lee. Wonshik Lee is going to want to knock out Sangjin Lee because it's going to be a 1v1v1. Now, at the 3-minute mark, they all get their interfere points. This is the reactionary 2v2.
It's going to be the deciding match, but actually
Wonshik Lee is taking so much damage too.
Putting a little damage. Youngjin Shin, he has to be the hero for the Chobo side, putting the bombard down, trying to put in as much damage as he can. He holds still for the survivability. He still stands still with the Wonshik Lee, putting down the offensive interfere, trying to make something happen, but Youngjin Shin, he still stays on ground, still healthy enough that he can make something happen.
All right, GFAM used all of their interfere points.
It's a 1v1. This is going to be enough damage. Wonshik Lee gets out. This is the start of Youngjin Shin. He can do this with an assassin, but it's not good enough to end this out. But what a complete turnaround for just GFAM. I'm really baffled about this entire situation because GFAM was looking like they were going to lose the entire game.
Yeah, like to mid-game, GFAM was using their points like they did on the third set, the tag match, where they lost for wasting or using too much of their points early on. This time around, they did use up their points and they didn't look too well until mid-game. They started to use Min Jung-ho's interfere very well with Suwon Kim's aerial coming in with Min Jung-ho's interfere with the Rumblebee, doing tons of damage, knocking one by one.
I think the true MVP of this series, especially for this last tag match, goes to Min Jung-ho because the lack of resources that GFAM had, they had to use it in the most careful of a manner. Then the 2 interferes that Min Jung-ho decided to use to come in for the offensive interfere put in so much damage that just left Chobo speechless to one point that one of the players didn't even tag out in time because he was so baffled.
Yeah, well now Chobo is in the second seed, which next week, Saturday, we'll be seeing Chobo waiting at the top. Well, not really at the top, like kind of at the top. Waiting for No Name, for No Name and Superman to duke it out to fight them for the second seed for Group A. But yeah, on the replay right now, we see like early on, GFAM using up their points too much.
It was pretty inefficient in how they use up the tag points and interfere points early on, especially the tag points, using it in the first few minutes already. But this is where it begins to burst the damage, and I doubted myself for it. He should have tagged out right here, but he does keep his ground. I don't know why.
He should have tagged out.
He had plenty of opportunity to do that. And just the overall play by GFAM to have that momentum to really turn this around and never lose hope, even though they were completely behind. They trusted that with the crucial amount of plays and with the burst damage that the summoner can put out, they had good enough opportunity that can make this work, and they really did make it work.
Yeah, I actually, to me, like you said, you give, the MVP for if it was for GFAM to Min Jung-ho. I would actually give it to Soo-Won Kim because he, other than the opportunities that he created for Min Jung-ho, he was able to endure that 2v1 because they used up all the resources early on, and Soo-Won Kim was on the field when that was happening, and he was all alone for a very long time, and he was able to endure that without dying.
And being the team captain that he is, he did extremely well of really holding his ground for his team, not just in the gameplay, but also mentally as well. And now we know the result is settled. GFAM will be topping Group A as expected, of course, not in the manner that we expected, but Chobo will come in as second seed, and this will be the decider up to next week. Tomorrow we'll do the same thing for Group B, but next week we'll decide whether the winner's match and the loser's match will decide who makes it up to the next round, as we like to call the championship teams.
All right, so basically next week we'll see, not tomorrow, next Saturday we'll see Superman and No Name versus each other. The winner will go up against Chobo for the second seed to go up, like you just said. But tomorrow at 1300 KST, here we go on screen right now. We have Triple J against Full Swing. Second match is Oh Yeah versus G Touring. So two of the teams, Oh Yeah and G Touring, we've seen them last season as well. So you guys are probably familiar with it. So tomorrow, get ready for two new rookie teams as well as two experienced teams as well.
And that's specifically the reason why you guys should start tuning in and straight from 13 to 100, because JJJ and Full Swing, two rookie teams, and we have no idea what to expect from a rookie team. And the rookie team that really impressed us today with Chobo, they were completely impressive, and we were surprised once again what a rookie team is capable of. They have no fear. They will tackle on any pros and try to get a result off of that, but this is actually looking very good for these rookie teams, and gives us a lot of hope for us casting the Blade&Soul to see new variety in the teams that they introduced.
Yeah, and tomorrow Triple J and Full Swing, two rookie teams going up against each other in the first match. I think it's well played because, give them a chance to duke it out, to see it, how it goes down.
But we're going to see how that will unfold tomorrow. Come back at 1300 Korean Standard Time, and we'll be back for more Blade&Soul action. We'll see you then.
My back's against the wall.